What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Subjective Review Show. I was supposed to have two guests on my show today, two guys that I actually work with. They're both big DC heads, both named Josh. The one said his internet has been out all day. He's trying to get it fixed by tomorrow, so he couldn't pop in. Waiting for another Josh to show up, and we'll wait for some more people to hop in, and then we'll get this party started. But we've got some great questions. I can't wait to answer them because I learned a lot, and it's going to be a fun, interesting stream, and I can't wait to get it started. So with that, let's see who's in here. We got 19 people. Hit that like button. Yes, please hit that like button. We got DC Extended. Hey, bro, you can't wait till the show starts. Well, it started. Here we are. What's going on, DC Extended? We have Pilot Maverick. What's going on, buddy? Appreciate you being here. Dr. Fate. Not to be that guy, but I'm happy you're on Fatal Joe's show. Not to be that guy, but I'm happy you're on Fatal J's show is annoying. If you're talking about the Dark Council, yeah, those guys, I'm not going to say they're annoying, but they have a good time. They have a party over there. That's what Fatal J is all about. He's all about the entertainment. Gotta love it, though. Warzone 42, Jeffrey, this is going to be fun. Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, you're going to learn some stuff because I learned some stuff because I had some great questions that I was asked. And again, if you want questions answered, of course we have the chats on the side and everything. But if you want a main topic, please submit your questions to diamonds41@yahoo.com. And then I'll pick main topics and we'll go over those first. And then of course, at the very end of the stream, if I have time, we'll do the Q&A and see what you guys are saying. And we'll go off that. But yeah, for right now, I'm just going to see what's going on until my guests arrive, which he's not here yet. We got Amstree. What's going on, buddy? Zever Fett. Where's he at? Where's he at? There he is. Zever Fett. What's going on, buddy? Happy you could jump in. All right, we got Jonathan. What's going on, buddy? What's up? The movie Raiders. Sup. Did you get a haircut? Yes, I did. I actually got it last. What are we going on, a week now? Week and a half? So yes, I did get a haircut. And here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. What's going on, Josh?
Hey, how you doing, bud?
Good. Happy to have you here.
Glad to be on.
Awesome. Unfortunately, we couldn't have the other Josh chime in. I guess he just didn't. I don't know. I guess he's a DC hater and didn't want to join in on the fun.
Yeah,
I didn't think you were.
That's what I'm taking from it.
I didn't think you were going to show up.
Oh, of course I was. I wanted to be on for a while.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just going through live chats right now, and then we'll jump right into the main topics, which should be interesting.
Yeah,
we got South Cali guy. Evening, fellas. Always good to see you. Always glad to be here, Tyler. I'm ready for the knowledge about to be dropped. Yeah, I keep on saying this stuff. The questions that I was asked, yeah, I definitely had to do my research on them because I've only been reading comics for a couple of years, so I know I guess the bare minimum of stuff, but there's a lot I still don't know, and Josh probably knows a lot.
Oh, what happened there? Okay.
Oh God, sorry. Listen, I got a new laptop.
We good there?
I'm good.
Oh yeah.
I got this new laptop, and the damn mouse is so sensitive that sometimes I'll swipe and it will just take me off the screen, and that's just what happened. So sorry about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, get back to
blame your vast wealth of money.
No, trust me, I'm not. You know that we both worked at the same place. Come on. What was he? Oh, sorry, South Cali guy. I was glad to be here. Tyler, I'm ready for that knowledge. Yes, it's going to be some good stuff. Like I was saying. The stuff we're about to learn, I didn't even know. But it's gonna be a fun stream, and we're gonna learn a lot. You got Elk, happy to see him here for Tyler. Appreciate that. Hashtag. Sam, hey Tyler, great topics, man. Looking forward to it, bro. Jeffrey, I do know Rebirth movie is not happening. I can confirm this. Watchtower. Okay, we got Tyler ended the stream. Yeah, that was my bad. quick fingers. Okay, so you know what? With that, let's just get into the first topic. And like I said, guys, if you have any topics, you just want to send them to diamonds41@yahoo.com so they can be main topics. Let me just get this off the screen here. And we'll go into the first topic, which I had most of these questions were sent in by Juan Villarreal. I appreciate this. And the first question we have is, if Darkseid acquired his powers after he lost the war against Earth and everyone, why hasn't he come back to try and get revenge? Now, Josh, I don't know if you know this or not, but in the Joss Whedon cut of Justice League, we saw Steppenwolf in the history lesson. You remember that, right? Josh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Steppenwolf, not Darkseid, like we all expected.
Yeah. So, but in the Snyder Cut that's going to be coming out next year, we know that it's Darkseid. We know that they replaced Darkseid with Steppenwolf. Now, we know that Steppenwolf is still in this movie, but ultimately the main threat is Darkseid. And from what we see that Darkseid gets defeated. Well, actually, I shouldn't even say it's Darkseid because it's before he becomes Darkseid. He's actually, they call him Uxas. So it's before he officially becomes Darkseid. He invades Earth and he just gets the shit beat out of him, and he leaves because it didn't work out to his plan. So then after that, he acquires his powers, and I didn't. Again, I had to do research on this because I didn't know how he acquired his powers, how he officially becomes Darkseid. You know, the stone-looking dude with the beamy eyes and everything. So apparently there's this thing called the Mega Force, where his brother, and again, I don't know if you know this or not. I haven't really read any Darkseid.
I know everything, but you can continue.
Yeah,
and
again,
who don't know.
Yeah, stop me if I'm wrong. So apparently, his brother is going to, I believe it's called the Omega Force. He's going to retrieve that. So when this is going down, Darkseid kills his brother, and therefore he gets the Omega Force, turning himself into this rock-like creature, and with him acquiring the Omega Force, he now has the eye beams and everything, and now officially he becomes Darkseid. Am I correct?
You are correct from what I've heard, or from what I've looked up as well.
And again, I just
on the same page.
Yeah, and again, I just looked this up like literally the other day because these questions, I'm like, honestly, I don't know the answers. I got to look it up. So we go back to the question: if Darkseid acquired his powers after, yes, we know he acquires his powers after because that's how he becomes Darkseid. And he lost the war against Earth. Why hasn't he come back to try to get revenge? Well, again, Josh, if you remember from the original movie, there's a line from Steppenwolf where he says there's no Kryptonians, no lanterns. Now this is the time to come back. This is the time to come back to Earth to retrieve the mother boxes because Superman is dead. That's why he hasn't come back yet, correct?
You are explaining something I'm not quite sure of at that point. I don't actually remember that part. I tried looking it up, but I can't remember why he didn't come back.
Yeah,
I was taking it the fact that he didn't have any reason to come back to Earth yet. The only reason why he came to Earth in the first place was looking for the anti-life equation. He thought it was on Earth to begin with. That's just my theory of why he came to Earth, because it wasn't really explained at all in the movie why he came to Earth and tried to fight everyone there.
Exactly.
To me, I was thinking the anti-life equation was somewhere on Earth, and that's why he went to attack it originally.
Yeah, and that's
what I got from everything.
And that's part of it too. But that's something I remember. And you'll probably have to. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you to go watch the original Justice League. I mean, if you want to, you can. I can never do it again.
It was okay.
If you
it was okay.
Okay, touche. But now with all the information, that I know, I can never watch that movie again. But yeah, if you watch, I don't know how many trailers it's in, but there's at least one trailer where, and he even says it in the movie, where again, this movie was cut so short. It was only 2 hours, and there's so many details that are left out. But there's a scene or a quote from Steppenwolf, and he's like reporting to someone, which we don't know who that is, but it seems like it is Darkseid. He's reporting to Darkseid that we believe, saying that there's no Kryptonians left on Earth, there's no lanterns. So in my eyes, that's him telling Darkseid this is the right time to strike, because Superman is dead. Again, there's no lanterns. There's it's the perfect time to strike. It's the perfect time to get all the mother boxes, and that's why now he wants to come back and get his revenge, because before he was defeated, but now he's Darkseid. Now he doesn't see any threats, so now it's going to be easier for him to come back. That's the way that I'm taking it.
Okay.
Yeah. What we got?
No, I can see your point of that. Yeah, can't really argue too much.
Yeah, I mean that's the way that I take it. So with that, we'll probably just get to the next question, because this all kind of like leads into the same stuff. So the next question that Juan asked me is, when Lex says the god is dead, what does that have to do with Apocalypse invading? Why is Superman their concern and not Zeus? Again, this goes back to the idea. Lex is saying that because he now knows that Superman is dead. He's been communicating with Steppenwolf and letting them know that, okay, now is the time to strike. If you guys want to come over, if you guys want to come back to Earth and get the mother boxes and acquire the anti-life equation, if that's what you want to do. So that's why he says the god is dead. God referring to Superman. Would you agree to that?
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, what other kind of god has there been?
Yeah,
on Earth since Zeus, and then no one even remembers really Zeus or all the gods in the past. So I mean, Superman's the only god that everyone knows at the point.
Yeah, I mean, he's not an actual god; he's an alien. But some people consider him a god.
Yeah,
a figure of speech. Yeah. But the interesting one, again, I had to do my research on this one, was the second part of this question, where he says, why is Superman their concern and not Zeus? And for a second, I was like, that's a really good point. Why, like whatever happened to Zeus? Again, when in the history lesson and Ares and all those, the other gods, you're thinking, like, what happened to them? And again, I had to do my research. I had to look that up. And apparently, which you probably found too, is that they explained this in the Wonder Woman movie. They explained that Zeus was fighting Ares, and Ares was just killing all the gods, and Zeus defeated Ares, and when at that point Zeus was so beat down and he was at the end that the on his last breath, the last thing that he did was he created Themyscira so he could hide the Themyscirians on this island, and he could hide them away from Ares, and then he died. Which, again, I know they explained this in Wonder Woman, but I completely forgot about that.
Honestly, I tried looking up that question, and I missed that.
You couldn't find
it. I missed that whole part.
Yeah, I mean,
really did.
I forget what I put in my search, but I actually took a picture of it. But yeah, that's what it says. It says when all the other gods were killed by Ares, Zeus fought and was able to defeat and grievously injure Ares, leaving him weakened. Before then, he used the last of his power to create an island called Themyscira, where the Amazons could live hidden from humanity and from Ares, and he dying in the process. Again, a lot of information that I forgot, or I'm learning about everything, and which a lot of us know about Zack Snyder is when it comes to the details, dude, it's very detail oriented, and this little things like this just amazes me. Because again, I was like, damn, where is Zeus? Why would Darkseid come back if he was already defeated by Zeus in the first place, and be like, oh, I'll try again, But right there, it explains it that Zeus is dead. So you have Zeus is dead, and now the only other threat that he could have possibly had was Superman, and now Superman's dead. So again, makes it the perfect time to strike. You have any comments on that?
No, like I said, there was information that I tried looking up. I couldn't figure out myself. I just figured that Zeus wasn't a part of anything for a while, so it just made no sense for him to worry about Zeus at that point. But I guess I missed the whole part in the Wonder Woman where he died.
Yeah,
I did try looking up that question. But I knew
there had to be a reason for it. Yeah, I knew there had to be a reason.
Yeah, so did I. I just failed to find that.
All right, I'm going to go back to the questions or what's going on right now, so we can. We got here. Bear Team 44. I don't know what this stream is about. This stream is about knowledge. That's what it's about. Okay, we are all learning stuff. I'm learning stuff. Again, I told everyone. I said I've only been reading comics for a couple of years now, and honestly, I started reading comics because of Josh. The other Josh that's not here. The first ever comic I ever read was The Dark Knight Returns because of him, and at that moment, I was sold. Yeah, I was sold. So, but I'm still like I just finished Batman Hush the other day. I'm still catching up on a lot of classics that I haven't read yet. But right now, I'm actually in the process of reading a book called. I think it's called Final Crisis Omnibus. It's like Omnibus Final Crisis. It's like 1,500 pages long. Damn thing is like, it's huge. It seriously weighs like 30 pounds, and I think it like kind of dives into like what Darkseid's about yet, but we really haven't gotten. I haven't gotten to that point yet. But yeah, so yeah, this stream is going to be about knowledge about what's going on in the DCU, what's going on with Darkseid, what is Zack's plans and who Darkseid is pretty much, and what that's all about. We got Jose Flores says,
I'm just curious. I'm just curious where they're going with the whole Darkseid. If they are going to replace Darkseid with Steppenwolf with Darkseid, what parts are Steppenwolf going to be in, and what parts Darkseid are going to be in? Which one are we going to get, and where are we going to get them? Because you're having both characters in the movie. Where are we getting Darkseid? Where are we getting Steppenwolf? Because that can change a lot of stuff.
I think I think what's going to happen is that a lot of people, some people, well, I shouldn't say a lot of people. Some people are thinking that Darkseid is the villain of this movie. I don't think that's the case. I think he's going to be in the history lesson. You're going to learn about him. You know, it's the same thing with Thanos in the MCU. You're going to learn about him. You're going to learn what his what his motives are, and he's going to be in the history lesson. But he's going to be in the background. And from what we know, he'll be in the history lesson, and then they'll send, in present day, they'll send Steppenwolf. He'll do his thing with the Justice League, and then eventually he'll be defeated. We know that Steppenwolf dies in Zack's movie. And when he dies, that's when the team is introduced to Darkseid. And I think that is most likely how the movie's going to end. So you're probably going to see a young Darkseid before he is Darkseid in the history lesson, and then you'll see him at the end. Now, hopefully, there's more in between. Again, hopefully, there's more that we can find out, who he is and how everything happened.
So, do you think they're going to replace the whole part of Steppenwolf in the very beginning when Wonder Woman's telling Bruce about how Steppenwolf came to Earth and everything else, and they're going to replace that whole scene with Darkseid?
Yeah.
Correct. That would seem to make sense.
Yeah, the whole complete history lesson, that will be a younger Darkseid, Euxis. It won't be Steppenwolf.
Euxis, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I can see that. That would make, honestly, the most sense. Because Darkseid is also somebody who doesn't like to fight himself. He'd rather have Steppenwolf and all the parademons fight for him until last thing comes and he has to fight. That's not what he wants to do. He doesn't want to fight himself. So if it's showing a side of him being younger, yes, that would make sense that he came to Earth in the first place to fight. But you don't want, like, later on in the future where they're fighting Steppenwolf, to keep that as Steppenwolf. Because he doesn't want to fight at that time. He's already more powerful. He already has all his resources, so why fight himself?
Yeah, exactly. So, and if he could just send one of his cronies to do it, and in this case Steppenwolf to do his dirty work for him. But then that we find out that from what we know, it looks like that Steppenwolf will die, and then Darkseid will go, okay, now I have to take care of business. Now they'll have to fight me. And the question is like, do we know, like, is that going to be the cliffhanger ending of the movie? I know originally that was supposed to be the cliffhanger ending, was them seeing Darkseid, and then it was just going to be done. But now we know that Zack is adding like 30 minutes of additional photography to this movie, or it's gonna be longer, like 4 or 5 hours. So maybe they could have a little. I don't know, man. It's gonna be insane, but I'm all for it.
If it's really gonna be that long, that's gonna be something just well worth it. I don't
know if I ever told you this, but you know that they're probably gonna like cut it up into chapters, right? It's not. Just
you suggested saying they might change it into like a series, like like all these shows are doing. That just cut it up into an hour series.
Yeah,
because 4 or 5 parts to it, which wouldn't be something I wouldn't be against.
Yeah,
because there's not many people who are going to sit through a 4 or 5 hour long movie. You're not going to find someone to do that.
Yeah.
So it would just be easier just to cut it up.
Yeah. And
maybe have the original part and then just have it series after, or have like a 2-hour first episode of pretty much what the movie was to begin with a little bit of changes, and then have a few episodes after.
Yeah,
that way they can kind of tweak with things in between.
And I think
with the money that HBO has, it'd be nice, better than Warner Bros. Could have done it justice in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it just makes the most sense, because instead of just dropping a whole movie on HBO Max, which will be fantastic as well, and which they still probably will do, but if you can just make it more of like take the movie and split it up into like 6 different chapters or episodes, whatever you want to call it, that means you're going to have people come back week after week after week. That's a month and a half of hype. That's just building for the platform, building up for HBO Max. More people coming in, talking about it. So I just think it makes the most sense. But it also, I feel like after the chapters, they're going to release it as a whole movie, and then they'll release the DVD months later. That makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
And what we got here, El Cappy Dceu says, Tyler, I could swear you Megaforce first, and I immediately thought of Power Rangers for some reason. They don't even say that, do they? No, what do they say? I don't even know. It's been so long. I could swear you Megaforce first, and I immediately thought of Power Rangers for some reason. I don't even know if they say that, honestly. When I watched it, I forget what they said.
What, that Megaforce?
No, they would always do this, and they'd be like, it's morphin' time.
It's morphin' time, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the Power Rangers these days are saying it's Megaforce. I don't know.
They might. I mean, there's been so many iterations of Power Rangers. I am lost.
And they're still going.
I stopped at. I think I stopped at what was it? Space something. I don't know. Whenever they went outer space is when I stopped watching Power Rangers as a kid. I don't know. That got too much for me.
It's been a while. Another guy.
It has.
What we got here? Humans are easily affected by the anti-life equation. We're like lightning rods. Okay.
It depends. I mean,
well,
anything has to happen on Earth.
Yeah, I got a couple more questions or main topics, and one of them is going to be talking about the anti-life equation, because again, let's just jump right into it then, because I want to get into that a little bit.
Okay.
Let's just get into the anti-life equation. Yeah, this is my last question. So here's the last question from Juan. He says, when Zod was going to terraform Earth, humans were going to die. So obviously humans were going to die because you're terraforming, you're making Zod's plan was to make it Kryptonian almost. So if that was the case, obviously the humans couldn't breathe the air, they would die. Right?
It's more of an anatomy question on humans. It depends on what you're trying to terraform the Earth to. I mean, humans could be susceptible to so many different life out there. I mean, who's to say that humans can't live on Apocalypse? There's been several times there's been just normal humans going to Apocalypse and being just fine, or meta-humans going to Apocalypse and being just okay.
Yeah, but
you really can't compare that with Krypton, because Krypton's gone now. So that's a different kind of environment.
Well, if you remember,
theoretical fake science stuff. So this is my take on it.
This is true.
This is just a different atmosphere. Some humans can live on certain atmospheres, and maybe we can't live on Krypton.
But here's the thing: is that if you remember Man of Steel, when they take Lois in the spaceship, she can't breathe, so they have to put that breathing apparatus on her.
Little face thingy on her.
Yeah, because the way that whatever in the ship, the way that it's built is that the Kryptonians can breathe and they're fine, but humans can't.
It's built to their atmosphere.
Exactly. So I think that's what's being said here, is that when he's terraforming Earth, he's trying to make it Kryptonian to the best of their ability, because they have the Kryptonian ships. So therefore, the humans would die, right? Is it safe to say that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So then he goes on to say, so why when Darkseid terraforms Earth, nobody dies? And this gets into the anti-life equation. Again, when I hear this, I never did my research on it until recently, but when I hear the anti-life equation, it makes me think like he wanted to kill everything. It makes me think almost along the lines of like, again, I hate to do this Marvel comparison, but Thanos, right? His whole idea was he was trying to kill half of humanity. So when I hear anti-life equation, I think, oh, he's trying to kill everyone. That's just his main goal in life. So then I do my research. It turns out, no, the anti-life equation doesn't kill anyone. It pretty much, what's that?
I said, no, it doesn't.
Yeah,
kill anyone. Pretty much just makes him even more of a god than he already is.
Yeah, well, the whole idea behind the anti-life equation, it pretty much makes every human like depressed almost. Like it literally, everyone that's affected by it, they just become like just, I don't know, like dull, like lifeless. It's just I want to look it up just because I sound stupid right now, but I want to see exactly. So the one thing that I wanted to get across to everyone, that it's not killing anyone. It's not, when he acquires the anti-life equation, he's not killing the humans.
No. It's from what I looked up, it was pretty much just knowledge, or pretty much just makes him even more powerful than he already is.
A very brief description right here. It says that it just proves that hope, love, and freedom are all meaningless, and effectively destroys a person's free will. So it looks like that everyone just bends to Darkseid at that point. So yeah, again, I want to stress this again. It doesn't mean that people are going to die. It just, and if you watch, did you watch the Apocalypse War, the new animated movie, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War? Did you see that?
I don't think I have, not yet.
Yeah,
well, is it newer?
If you haven't, yeah, it was, I think maybe a month or two ago it came out, but it's actually really good.
Oh yeah, no,
check it out. Yeah, and it's got like, it's literally has like the Justice League Dark, Suicide Squad, like everyone's in it, and they try to go to Apocalypse and kill Darkseid. It doesn't work out for them, so in return he pretty much takes over Earth, and that's just the whole deal. Is everyone that's still around still alive? It's just it's places just deadbeat. It's turning into Apocalypse. Just it's just gone to shit pretty much. And that's the whole idea of the anti-life equation. It's just think depression when I think of the anti-life equation. You have anything to add on to that?
No, not too much. All I know is a Darkseid pretty much spending his entire life trying to look for the anti-life equation. That's why I believe that the reason why he went to Earth in the first place, which they didn't explain in the movie, Batman versus Superman, which is, I feel like he was seeking the anti-life equation then, because there's no other reason for him to go to Earth. There was no reason for him to attack Earth thousands upon thousands of years ago. Unless he was searching for something.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
something really good.
And that's like the problem with I call it the Justice League. That's the problem with that movie, is the fact that they didn't explain anything. And when you're giving Zack Snyder 4 or 5 hours to explain everything, and I think he's going to nail it. I think he's going to, all the questions that we had before of what the hell was going on, I think that's all going to be explained. And again, when it comes to the details, Zack doesn't leave anything out. And it's little things like this that we will learn in this movie. We will learn like what the purpose is, why Darkseid is there, what does he want out of all of this. It's all going to be explained, and it's just more reason to get me so super excited for this movie. And again, these are things that I didn't know, and if I didn't do my research these last couple of days, I probably would have learned when I watched the movie, and it would have surprised me a little bit. But yeah, so you got to do your research, you got to read your comics. I think after all this stuff that I've learned about Darkseid and the anti-life equation and all that, I definitely want to read some more Darkseid comics. There's one. What's it called? The what's the big one? Is it the Infinite Crisis? Is that the big one with Darkseid?
War on Infinite Earths.
Is that
Is
yeah?
that the one I'm thinking of?
I think it is.
Is the one where Darkseid is pretty much it kind of messes with everything that DC kind of has, because the fact that there's only supposed to be one Darkseid, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Darkseid is supposed to be the only one that there is of them. Only supposed to be one main Darkseid, but for some reason, when War on Infinite Earths happened, there was a bunch of different iterations of Darkseid. They put him in. I think it was just a bunch of different writers didn't realize that Darkseid was supposed to live outside the multiverse, and they didn't realize that at the time. But there's really only supposed to be one Darkseid. So,
yeah, I mean that's it gets crazy, and when it comes to the multiverse and it comes to all these different characters, and I remember I watched I know the other Josh was always telling us to watch the videos where they fight each other. What the hell are they called?
Oh, the death battles or
death battles? Yes. It was a death battle.
Yeah. So if we're gonna go plug another YouTube channel, watch the death battles. It's pretty good.
Yeah, you got to check out. If you watch the death battles, you have to check out the one between Thanos and Darkseid. Very interesting.
Yes,
and
he pretty much gives you a lot of information.
Yeah, and pretty much with the Infinity Gauntlet, he was still like no match for Darkseid at all. Because again, he can like put you in different dimensions and shit. It's just it gets crazy, man. The stuff that he can do is just wild, and that's just why he's one of the best villains of all time, most powerful.
Yeah, when I was actually looking at his stuff, I knew Darkseid was pretty immense, pretty powerful, but he kind of exceeded my expectations of how strong he actually was.
Yeah,
defeating Zeus, defeating the gods, stealing their powers. Pretty much regenerated himself when he was weak.
Yeah,
just kind of something in the newer versions.
Any dude that fights with his hands behind his back, he's probably a badass. He's just always like, oh. All right. With that, I'm gonna get into the last topic of the night, and then I'll just get to some Q&A questions. Let's see here. Get that off the board. So, last question. The future of the DCEU Justice League.
Yes.
Now, I want to explain this to you, Josh, because this is something that.
Okay.
I mean, it's for a while. Everyone was saying that the Snyder Cut wasn't going to happen, right? Said,
Yeah, I was one of those people. I didn't believe it.
Yeah, and then when you found out that it was happening, I was like the first one you contacted.
All those months of you talking, and I was like, oh, this kid just talking nonsense. He's just talking, and he doesn't know what he's saying.
You just gotta, you just gotta.
And I was like, hey, Snyder Cut. I was like, oh man, Subjective's the first person I need to text right now. But of course, Subjective had to leave work. Like, I was sick. I had to go.
You're damn right I did. You're damn right I did. That was the day that they had the Man of Steel. Well, we were hearing that they were having the Man of Steel watch party where we were all gonna watch the movie together, and Zach was gonna do commentary on it. And I mean, all of a sudden, all of these news sites were like, "You might want to pay attention to that stream. You really should." And it was like everyone knew something big was going to happen, and then it happened, and it was freaking crazy. Because again, we've been fighting for this for like 3 years, so to see it finally happen was so sweet. But to get back to the topic at hand, so a lot of people, the next narrative is once we, because we know that we're getting the Snyder Cut now. The next narrative was like, that's it. After the Snyder Cut, now we know that Zach wanted to film like a JL2 and a JL3. He had like a 5-movie arc planned. It was going to be Man of Steel, BVS, and then 3 Justice Leagues, and that was going to be it. But then a lot of people were saying, a lot of news sources were saying that, no, it's going to be the Snyder Cut. That's it. You guys aren't getting anything else at all. Then we're starting to hear rumblings that, no, that's not the case. As long as his movie does very well financially, and when I say financially, I mean subscriptions to HBO Max, AT&T will give him the money to do a JL2 and a JL3 as long as it's successful, which, that's a good business move. That makes the most sense. If your movie makes a lot of money, you do a sequel. That's how it works. So then there was an article that was posted by a couple different websites yesterday saying that there is going to be a DC Rebirth movie, or I shouldn't say DC, a Justice League Rebirth movie, meaning that they're going to do another Justice League movie in a couple years, but it's going to it's going to be a rebirth. It's going to recast everyone and kind of start from scratch. And that's why I brought up this question. I wanted to know your thoughts on that. What do you think? Do you think that makes sense? Do you think they could do that with the multiverse? What do you think makes the most sense here? What are your ideas?
To me, that makes the most sense is you shouldn't do that. Continue with the story you have going.
Yeah.
Let's see how this Justice League does. Let's see how this movie does on HBO Max. If it does really well, don't even bother with revamping everything. Let's keep everything going. To me, when you revamp everything, you're just saying, hey, we failed. There's nothing we can do about it. Just move on. And then you're just kind of just screw things up. You're going to snowball, and it's going to make things even worse if you just start over again in a few years. But if this does well, just say, hey, that just can keep us going. It's going to be good. We'll try one more thing. And if that doesn't work out, then, hey, then we can do it again. But right now I say it would be a bad move to move on this soon, because I'm not ready to move on from this the DCEU yet. Yeah. What I really think is, if they do want to change a few things, the way they can, this is what I've always thought, is if they wind up doing a Flashpoint Paradox movie, that can correct a lot of mistakes that they're making. They can say, if Flash, hey, this is a Flashpoint Paradox, Barry screwed something up, and just say, hey, they want to keep Batman, or no longer have Batman be Batman. Be like, hey, Robert Pattinson is now Batman. It'd be like Barry Allen would come in and be like, hey, Bruce, you look different. After the whole Flashpoint Paradox, and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've always looked like this. We've met several times. So like, I don't know. It's the stupid stuff like that. You can kind of correct it with the Flashpoint Paradox. Because when he goes back in the past and screws things up, it changes things slightly in the present. You can do so much with that movie that you can keep this whole DCEU going for the time being.
Yeah, most definitely. And that was something, again, this is why, when it comes to details, and when it comes, Zack had it all planned out. He originally planned to have, when his arc was done after JL3, he was going to, I think they were going to have a Flash movie that was going to be like a Flashpoint that was kind of going to reset everything. So at that, because again, I'm throwing a lot at you, I know, but in Zack's story, he was going to have Batman die. I don't know if you knew that or not, but he was going to have him die. So if you do a Flashpoint after Justice League 3, that's the perfect opportunity for them to be like, oh, well, now Robert Pattinson's the new Batman. He's the new Batman in the DCU. But it's a perfect story for them, or perfect movie for them to, if they want to be done with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, or if they want to be done with Jason Momoa as Aquaman. It was literally perfect. It was all set in stone. That's how it was going to go down. But I don't know if you know this or not, with the Flash movie that's supposedly. Well, yeah, I know that they've been talking about it for years now, but it looks like it's finally happening. Did you see the news about Michael Keaton possibly being cameoing in the movie?
Possibly. If Michael Keaton does make it, I guess he's technically supposed to be in there. I don't see him playing more than a 5-minute role in the movie. I don't see, I pretty much just see the Flash popping into his universe for a few minutes at a time. Hey, Batman, you look old, or whatever. It'll be Michael Keaton doing Batman things with the weird universe that he was in. The whole cartoonish. everything oversized, animation style of the movie that it was.
The Tim Burton,
I don't see him being the Tim Burton version of Batman. I don't see him being in there any longer than like a 5-minute cameo, if that.
Well, that seems to be the word around town now, is that he'll cameo in that movie, in the Flash movie, and then apparently they're saying that he's going to be in a Batman Beyond movie.
That's, if they're in talks, I would love a Batman Beyond movie.
Yeah,
I haven't heard much about it. Honestly, I don't believe that will ever happen, in my personal opinion. I don't think there's enough there for a Batman Beyond movie. I would like it. I used to watch a show as a kid. I've read the Batman Beyond comic book. If I kind of stopped after 20 issues, it got kind of boring because Terry wasn't in it anymore.
Oh, really?
But yeah, they had Tim Drake as Batman Beyond because Terry died.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, spoiler alerts, anyone if you haven't read it.
Damn, I didn't know that. Well, the one thing...
So...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Continue.
No, I was just going to say that, again, this is just a minor hiccup, and they can do whatever they want with the movie. But if they want to do a Batman Beyond where Michael Keaton is Batman, is Bruce Wayne, that's set in the future. Isn't that set like 100, 200 years in the future or something like that?
Oh, no, not that long. Batman's still alive. He's like 80.
Oh, okay. So it's not.
It's like 40, 50 years in the future after.
Okay.
Batman. He only stops being Batman for about like 10 years because he's Batman until he's like 60.
Okay. So it's okay.
Yeah, and then he stops because he's just 60, 65. He's just too old to become Batman anymore. So he hangs up the mantle, and then Terry finds it and puts on a special suit and becomes Batman.
I guess I'm learning a lot then, because I always assume that was one of my my gripes.
I'll throw some more knowledge for you. If you've ever watched the Justice League cartoon, there's a whole episode or two about Terry in the future. And I don't know how much this goes along with the comics or anything else, but it winds up that Terry is actually Bruce's son genetically. They actually injected Bruce's DNA into Terry's father, so he actually has Bruce's DNA.
Damn.
So he's actually because Amanda Waller said that since Batman was getting old, the world still needed a Batman. That's why they did this. So it just kind of happened the fact that he found Bruce and then became Batman, obviously, by comic book magic. That's all happened.
So you heard it here first.
Well, heard it here first if you watched back, Justice League like 15 years ago.
You heard it here first. Terry dies. I had no idea.
Oh yeah, hear it first. That's like 3 years old, but yeah. Okay. Sorry to ruin anyone who's going to read that comic book, which actually wasn't the greatest.
I'm not going to read that comic book now. No, I'm kidding. No, that's nice to know, because I assumed, I shouldn't have assumed that, but I don't know, because it always had like that futuristic vibe to me. I was like, this has to be like 100 years in the future. But
yeah, that's not that far.
It does make sense that if it was the original Bruce Wayne from the animated series, be like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm happy you cleared that up. So yeah, the whole Michael Keaton thing could work out fine, but you don't seem to think that it's going to happen, or you think the odds are low
that they're going to have a Batman Beyond movie. Yeah, I think those odds are very low. I don't see it happening. I don't see much of an audience for it. Like for me, I would love it. I know some people, it's too low of an audience. There's no way they would put that much money into a movie that they don't think they'll get that much back from, because I don't think they would get that much back from it. That's sad for me to say, for me being such a big DC fan. But that's just how it is.
You have to look at it because of Michael Keaton. You have a lot of Michael Keaton Batman fans.
I understand that, but I don't think that would have the pull for Hollywood to actually create this movie.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay,
like I said, I hate to say it. I hate to be the Debbie Downer here, but that's the way I see it. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's just your opinion. I feel like it's going to happen. I feel like, which is crazy because then you're going to have so many different Batmans at once. You're going to have Robert Pattinson, Ben Affleck coming back as Batman, and then Terry McGinnis, if that's the case, and they do a Batman Beyond. But hey, man,
there's no way you can have a Batman Beyond without Terry McGinnis.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, AT&T, they don't give a shit. They're just like, yeah, you get a Batman, you get a Batman, everyone gets a Batman. It's kind of funny to see like where everything is going with DC right now, because I know that for the last couple of years, a lot of people have been saying that they think that eventually these comic book movies are going to die out, and they've been saying that for a couple of years, and it's like
I don't see it happening.
Exactly. But they talk about comic book movie fatigue, right? And they keep on talking about it. I'm like, I'm still waiting to see signs, and then all of a sudden, like AT&T is just like, nope. You're gonna have like 5 Batmans next year. Like, oh, you're gonna have 4 different Supermans. Like, they're just like, man, just balls to the wall, DC content. Like, I love it. I absolutely love it.
I love it too. I mean, there's nothing better than comic book. I mean, what else is there out there? Like, there's nothing but reanimated movies, things that have been done in the past. It just, I'll enjoy superhero stuff.
I think the cool thing that
all of us nerds out there who enjoy comic book stuff, let's keep watching movies that are made for us. Yeah, let's get people who aren't into comics into these movies.
Exactly. But I think the cool thing that they're doing, the approach that they're taking, is they're saying, okay, a lot of people, they love Ben Affleck as their Batman. That's their new favorite Batman, right? And then you hear that Robert Pattinson is going to be the new Batman, the newest one. And a lot of people are upset about that. So they're saying, okay, well, we'll just give you multiple Batmans. Okay, Robert Pattinson's Batman doesn't have to be your Batman. Ben Affleck can be your Batman. And we'll give Ben Affleck a series over here at HBO Max. But then, if you're into Robert Pattinson, then okay, you can watch the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. So they're pretty much they're giving everyone what they want. And I think it's a good idea. I don't know how you feel about it.
I feel the complete opposite of you. I don't think that's a good idea. When you give someone, or you give all these people so many different options of Batman, I'm gonna just throw this back to the whole Marvel thing.
Yeah,
and the fact that Marvel has kept the same actors for all their heroes for how many years now, and that's what people seem to want now. They don't want actors, or they don't want people portraying their superheroes. They don't want different actors portraying the superheroes. They want the same actor portraying the superhero for a long time. They get upset once you change that person, and they don't like it. So in the long run, I think it actually hurts to have multiple Batmans, multiple characters play different Jokers, for the matter of fact, different Batmans. I don't think it's a good thing financially for DC to keep doing. I mean, that's what I think. I think it's going to hurt them in the long run, because it's kind of shown that already. That once you change everything so often, so quickly, people don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the safe thing to say is that like time will tell. But I think I like the idea because, and we keep on going back to the Batman. I love different iterations of these characters. I love different takes on the Batman. I thought Christian Bale was my favorite Batman, and now Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman. Yeah, Ben.
Well, he was my favorite live action Batman, I should say.
Okay, so now you have Ben Affleck, who is now my favorite Batman. But now I'm also looking forward to Robert Pattinson. I want to see his take, and then you go over to Joker. Heath Ledger was my favorite Joker, but now Joaquin Phoenix does his take on it. I'm like, damn! Like I thought he killed that.
That was a good take.
Yeah. So now
it's hard.
It's hard for me to choose my favorite Joker between them two, but I can appreciate both of them. You're like, man, that was
I'm that dork that goes, if we're doing live action, then it's hard to say, but always my favorite Batman and Joker are the voice actors. I love Kevin Conroy's Batman, my favorite Batman. Yeah. Mark Hamill, Joker. There's no other voice I think of when I hear Joker. But if we're talking live action, then yes, it's something different.
It's true. I mean, when you think of, it's just Batman and Joker all together. I mean, they're both just great characters. I mean, everyone loves them. And like you said, Mark Hamill doing the Joker voice, and Kevin Conroy.
By the way, if anyone hasn't watched the Flash series, if you ever want a live action Joker, the closest you're going to get to is Mark Hamill playing the Trickster in Flash. I think that's the closest we were ever going to get to a live action Joker. So if anyone doesn't watch the show, because I stopped watching it, but Mark Hamill plays the Trickster, and that's the closest thing we'll ever get to a live action Joker. So if you want a live action Joker from Mark Hamill, go watch that.
I actually did see that episode.
Yeah.
Well, we got Zeverfett says my favorite Batman is Bruce Wayne. True. Very true.
I don't know. It's Batman just Batman. Bruce Wayne's not even Batman. There was the time where Diana was asking Batman who he actually was, and they all held the lasso. Was Diana, Superman, and Bruce all holding the lasso, and they asked for the true identity. And Bruce says Batman. Well, he's holding the lasso of truth, because Batman is actually who he is. He is Batman. Yep. His alter ego is actually Bruce Wayne.
Yep. Yeah, you're exactly right. No, it's true. A lot of people have said that, and I agree with it too. Is like Batman is who he really is. Bruce, yes. He's acting when he's being Bruce Wayne. He's not. You know what I mean? That's just a character. That's not who he really is. Batman is who he really is.
As it actually shows in the first Batman one, the trilogy. Whichever one he was like playing in the pool, then he saw Rachel, and then he was just like acting like so much like the women, the floozies that he was with at the time.
Oh, you talking about Batman?
Yeah. It just shows that he was playing a whole character then.
Rachel,
Bruce Wayne.
Rachel. Where's going? I know I've gotten into some debates about his Batman voice, but I loved it. I don't
know. Yeah, people like always complain about it. Like the funny thing is how it changed from Batman Begin to the second one. His voice just got a lot deeper, but I still enjoyed it. I couldn't care less.
It got more intense. I thought it made sense, how he was disguising his voice. But then again, to further my love for Ben Affleck, Zach was like, "I'll just computerize his voice," and I was like,
"Yeah, just like Batman vs Superman, where they gave him a little voice box changer, so it makes his voice a little." Yeah,
exactly.
It makes so much sense.
I'm just a dumb
mask your voice with this little thing.
Yeah, you would think that Batman would have something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you make me something to change my voice?
Yeah, something that we've had since we had the first Xbox.
What do we got? Kavari says Walter Hamada already has a slate of movies for the next 3 years. What are you talking about? All pipe dreams. I don't know. Is someone in the chat talking about pipe dreams? Hey, a lot of people said that the Snyder Cut was a pipe dream, but now it's happening.
I was one of those people. So I really was.
Yeah, I mean, from the outside looking in, I can understand why people were saying that. But the one thing that I always told everyone, if you listen to a lot of the news sites about the Snyder Cut, a lot of them, they were all saying it wasn't happening, it wasn't coming. So when you see that, you're going to think it's not happening. But the one thing that we were all looking at, the people that were really in deep in the movement, including myself, was what Zach was posting on his accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So Zach was constantly feeding us, giving us information, showing us behind the scene photos and information on this movie. And it was like, why is he doing this? If this movie wasn't going to come out, then why is he feeding us? Either he's the biggest troll ever, which we don't think he was, or this movie is actually going to happen. And sure enough, this movie is happening, because when it comes to like sources or people you can listen to, it's literally the director of the movie. So if there's one person that knows what's going on with his movie, it's Zack Snyder. And, like I said, that's why we knew it was happening, because until he came out and said, "Yo, guys, can you please stop? Like, it's not happening," then we would have stopped fighting, but we never did. And this is what happened. But like I said, I can understand why a lot of people think it wasn't happening, because of the news sites that were covering it. Integrity 101 says, "I hate that no killing Batman talk. Batman couldn't patrol for a week without killing anyone. The guy would give people a heart attack jumping out of the shadows, not to mention punching people repeatedly." Yeah, and again,
so I am full with the no Batman killing thing. That's something it's been iterated in me since I was a child. You know, Batman doesn't kill. So
But-
I hate the fact that he killed people. He definitely killed people in Dawn of Justice.
Here's the thing, though, and I was one of those people too, because at the time Christian Bale, again, I didn't read the comics, but at the time Christian Bale was my favorite Batman, and that was kind of his thing. Was he didn't let you forget it. Even the Joker was like, "You're gonna have to break your one rule," and he's like, "I'm thinking about it." So it was in your head that he had one rule, and that one rule was that he doesn't kill. So that was ingrained in my brain. So when I watched BVS and he was killing people, I was like, I don't know what to think about that, because like Batman doesn't kill. But then you read the comics, and I started reading comics, and you see in different situations that yes, he does kill. It's happened before. So then I was okay with it, and then I was fine with it. It's not like I'm running around saying I need my Batman to kill, but if he kills, I don't mind it. It doesn't hurt me. It's not like, oh no, he doesn't do that. But are you saying,
I forgot when Michael Keaton gave someone a bomb and just smiled at him and turned away?
Exactly.
Exploded in their face.
You're exactly right. Yep. So I think they said that Keaton's Batman killed more than Ben's Batman.
Probably.
Yep. What we got here? A couple more questions, and we're just coming up on the hour mark. I appreciate everyone showing up. It was a good show. I hope you learned a lot. I definitely learned a lot. I learned that Terry McGinnis died. What the hell? It's ridiculous.
I believe I stopped reading, but I believe he comes back because, comic book magic.
Of course. So Mighty says, do you guys think that the Snyder Cut is going to explain Robin's fate? I think from what I saw from Zach is he might touch on it a little bit. I mean, I hope he does, because you saw that in BVS. You saw that the Robin suit and Joker drew all over it, so we know that Joker killed Robin. So I'm hoping that he explains it. But I mean, in a Justice League movie, I don't know if there's much room for that. But
yeah, there's not much, and maybe just touch on slightly. But
I mean, it's 4 or 5 hours.
What more do you need to touch on besides seeing the suit? There's not much more you need to touch on.
Well, I just want to see that. I just want to see that scene play out, because apparently the reason Jared Leto's Joker teeth are or he has the grills is because Batman beat the shit out of him. That's why he did it, because he killed Robin, and then Batman got a hold of him and just murdered his face, and that's why his teeth are all jacked up. So I would love to see that scene play out, but maybe not. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're giving me a 4 or 5 hour Justice League movie with Darkseid and Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter. I think I'm fine if they don't show Robin, but
I'd be fine if they didn't. But Robin's one of my favorite characters, so I'd be fine if they didn't touch on it. For me, I know the story, so I don't need it to be touched on. So
fun fact: I was more of a Robin fan before I was a Batman fan, to be quite honest. Because what was it? It was Batman and Robin with George Clooney and the hell's his name?
Whatever that terrible movie is, the Bat Nips.
Yeah, what the hell was his name? Chris O'Donnell. That's who it was.
Yeah, Chris O'Donnell.
I was a huge fan of his when I was growing up. Like, I was all about Robin. I was like, screw Batman. I'm all about Robin. I'm all about the sidekick. And now, as I'm getting older, I'm just kind of like, I like Robin, but I'm more of a Batman guy. And we got the Truth 31. I'll lead off with this. This is the last thing we're gonna go. Where'd it go? It disappeared. Where the hell did it go? The Truth. Oh, there it is. So the Truth 31 says Batman is not the Punisher killing criminals, but if you shoot at him, he's shooting back. I agree. In a situation like that, you're going to have to do something.
But as it shows in Dawn of Justice, where he's beating the living crap out of everyone to save Superman's mom, he's just beating the living shit out of every single one of them.
You're
going to get it.
That warehouse scene was awesome. That was one of the best.
Oh, that was one of my. That was probably the best Batman scene of any movie ever.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would agree to that. And with that, I think we're going to close the show. I appreciate everyone coming out and hanging in here with us. I appreciate you showing up, Josh.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. We'll have to do this again, and maybe next time we'll have the other Josh show up, and he'll just run the show. As he likes to talk.
He likes to
talk.
You guys being surprised.
Yeah.
very much with that other one.
So with that, again, thank you everyone for showing up. Please subscribe. Please go to my Patreon account, and yeah, and I'll see you guys.
If anyone wants to actually check out my YouTube page, Josh streams, just a bunch of video game stuff. At the moment, I do plan on doing more stuff at the moment. Yes, subjective is pointing to this
I always get
Josh
that.
streams page.
Yeah.
No, you had it right. Yeah, there you go.
I know.
So yeah, just like and subscribe my stuff. It'd be nice to get some more stuff. There's barely any followers. I'd appreciate it.
Most definitely.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for having me on. I'd like to do this again.
All
it was
right.
a pleasure. Maybe next time we can get to a little bit more questions.
Yeah, but most definitely. It's kind of been like I know usually being a DC fan, there's been a lot of news recently, definitely the last couple weeks.
Yes.
But it's kind of dying down a little bit. But hey, I appreciated Juan for giving us those questions. I thought they were great. And
yes.
I learned a lot. I was like,
had me looking up stuff as well.
Yeah, so that was great. And again, I hope you guys got something out of this. And with that, I will see you guys on Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow, Josh.
I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Or good morning, wherever you are.
Yeah, right. Okay.